Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of, I talked to Nicole today and she said that she thinks it's interesting to see me actually make some of the parts instead of just showing after I made the part. So I'm going to, I told you the other day I make tie rods for the steering systems out of these little brazing rods. So they come in like, you can get them 1/16 diameter, you can get them 1/8 inch. And this is actually, if you have an old stick welder and you got some welding rods, don't even buy the rod. Just take the hammer and tap the little coating off of the welding rod, and you end up with a nice soft piece of steel rod. So that's what I'm gonna show you. Here's my actual. This is my actual workbench where I do all the little tack welding and all the grinding, and it's safer working here doing all that stuff with the metal back and everything kind of protected. And I don't have any paint or any rags or anything flammable down at this end. The paint and everything's way at the other end. So I try to keep it as safe as I can. And at night be sure everything's shut off. And here's kind of some of my little vice grips and some of my Dremels. I got about 4 Dremels, my little grinding discs, sanders, and then here's some of my clamps up here on the back. And there's some more clamps up there. And here's some little clamps over here and some C clamps here. And then here's my little scrap pile. Here's what the little piece left from yesterday after I cut that first hub out for the 40/20. That kind of, then the next one will be marked right here and it'll go right here. I'll have enough for 3 of those. So then tomorrow's probably the day I gotta go get some steel. I got 1 piece left and I need some more of this 1/8 inch plate to do some more to build the hubs. And so tomorrow I'll be on the road going and getting that. But anyway, right now I'm going to get my safety glasses. And Deb, you got yours. Let's see, let me get it right here. Oh, right there. I'm going to show you real quick, because Nicole thought you guys would like that. So this is just a piece of, you just buy the 1/8 inch rod at the farm store, so you don't even have to use a welding rod if you don't have any welding rods. But that's just a nice cheap, it's just a nice cheap way to get some welding rods if you have them already. So there's a welding rod, and after you tap it with the hammer, that outside coating comes off, and then I just sand it real quick and get a nice shiny surface. So that's what I use to make my railings, depending on the scale. But then there's also a smaller size welding rod, and I use that to get the smaller ones, or you can get the brazing rods. The brazing rods are expensive, but if you have welding rods in your shop that have been laying around for years, the steel inside them is still good, and I use a lot of those. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to show you guys how I make a tie rod. Nicole thought that you would be interested in that. Me just showing you after it was done, but actually showing you. So from a welding rod, here I go. I just take the end of this and bring it in about 5/8, and then I just start tapping it. I get the first part of it, you can see flat, and it's a little curved, so I turn it around the other way. Don't hit it a lot on the other side. Right there you got your first flat piece for your tie rod. And I still got a curve in it, so I'm gonna hit it one more time. Right there. Okay, so now what I do is it's got all the little hammer marks in it, and it's not smooth. The drill bit's gonna slide right off of there. So next what I would do is just touch this. Now I got a nice flat surface. And while I'm at it, I'll do the other side and show you again. So, okay, I'm gonna put this in here on the edge of the vise, and when I hit this with the hammer, I'm not going to hit it way back here. I'm going to hit it kind of on the edge because we kind of want to get that tie rod look. So right there. So I'm going to hit it again. It don't matter if it's lined up because this is going to be cut. So let me hit it again. It takes a few times to smash it. Now you can see the little curve in it. So I'll turn it around and I'll flatten it. So now you can see it's flat, pretty flat, not exact. So then it's got all the hammer marks in it. So I'm going to take it. Now it's not perfectly round. It's not perfectly round because I want to leave as much steel there before I drill it to make sure the drill don't go off the side. After I drill the hole, then I round that off to make it nice and round and smooth. This one's not as bad, but still I wait till I drill it. So now what I'm going to do is go over here to the drill press. Let me move this. And let me move my air tank here. So that can kind of get over here. And then I'm going to put in the small 1/16 drill bit right here. Here's my little guide. And let's see, that one's 3/32. And this one here is 5/64. So I'm going to go with, I don't have a 16th, so I'm going to go with the 5/64 for my little screws. So, okay, what I do is I clamp this. I look at the flattest, or the curved side that's in my favor. Instead of hitting it with the punch, I usually just do it without, and I kind of steer it a little bit with the vice grips, because sometimes I do the punch and it still wants to slip out of there. So let me see what we got here. I'm going to bring this right over here to the edge so I can see it good. Can you see it, Deb? Kind of. Okay, so I'm going to aim for the middle of that. And like I said, sometimes if I take a little punch, I miss it anyway. So what I try to do is just find the center of that, and if I'm a little off, see it's a little off, I just tilt it. I tilt it to the left till it goes right to the exact center. And there I am. Now once it goes to the center, there you go. See, I ended up putting it right exactly in the middle. Okay, now let me turn it around and reclamp my vice grips. Okay, now you'll see here if it starts to wander one way or another, it is. So I'm going the other way, kind of guiding it, and then once it starts right there in the center, then I'll go straight with it. Okay, so there's the other one, perfectly centered, both of them, without even a punch. But this is the key, to have the vice grip on there so you can move it one way or another to get it going, to get it started. So now what I'm going to do is I'll go back, and I'll take that sander and I'll make that perfectly round. Let me move my air tank again. Right here, so you can see. Can you see, Deb, up close that it's not perfectly round on either one of them? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and just touch this up, not a lot. Now you can see that's a nice looking, it won't focus.
Yeah, it's too close. There you go, that's better.
Okay, see how now nice and round and that is? Now nice and round that one it ended up being. So now what I'm going to do is I'll get my wire cutters. Now I'll cut this in half. Okay, now what we'll do is back up over here. Back up way there, and I'll get a couple little screws. And here's my small nut and bolt drawer. There's about probably 300 nuts and bolts in there. I just used 100 of them on the E.J. Potter tractor, so there's 100 nuts and bolts. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these little hex head bolts. And kind of, can you see that hex head bolt? Okay, that's going to go through there, just like that. And then I'm going to put the other, this would be simulating the tie rod moving right there. So then I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to find, there's two different size nuts. And there's one that's not to scale and there's one that's to scale. I'll get both of them and show you the difference. The ones to scale are very expensive. The ones that are not to scale are half the price. So there's the two right there.
Whoops. Okay.
And the ones to scale, they look so nice, but it's ridiculous the money they get for those. So there's that. And then I got some small wrenches here. Right here, some small little wrenches for those little tiny bolts. So let me see if I can find one. Oh, man. Oh, there it is. And that goes into there, that little tiny socket. Well, maybe it don't. Wow. Let me get the next size. So anyway, guys. Nope. That looks bigger. That's gotta go in that one.
Maybe that's the defective one.
And this is, there it goes. See? One in that little socket. So then, I flip this up. I take my little socket wrench there. And I get on here. And I start that. No, I don't. That's the next size smaller. I took the wrong size. Oh, man. Let me see if I can find this one. No, I can't find him. So I'm going to try to get the non... Let me try to get the non one here. Well, nothing's easy. Okay, I got to do something different. Okay, I got to get my other wrench right here, my other bigger socket. And in order for this to start it, I have to put 3 of these nuts in there. Tap them down. 1, 2, 3. I have to do this every single time I put one of these on there because it's too deep. The wrench is, the socket's too deep and it won't press the nut onto the bolt. So okay, here we go again. This is with the non-scale nut, and it's going on that tie rod bolt. So I just spin it a couple times and pull it off, and I got it started, and those two still in there. I dump them out. Then I come back with the socket and I tighten it. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Then I turn it, and then I finish tightening it up. And there's one end of your tie rod system right there. So this would go on your spindle part right here. I'd cut that right there, and that would be welded to that. And then there would be another one right down here, and another one of these, I'd weld that to the other spindle. And so when you move this tie rod, that would turn both of your wheels back and forth. So that's, Nicole, I think everybody would like to see that I actually make those. So okay, now second, Nicole said people would probably like to see how you got started in the hobby. And I've told the story a few times over the years before we got offline, but this has been 8 years now. So kids that were like, what, maybe 7 years old now would be like the age where they might be interested in this kind of stuff, a hobby, making toys or something. So this is where it all started, right here, this crazy little thing right here. It's just a little piece of steel, with a hole drilled in it with a piece of 3/16 rod, and then another piece of 3/16 rod going out, and then just a little flat piece of brass, and bent over on the top and the bottom, and then two more little pieces of 1/8 inch. I guess it actually looks kind of complicated. Geesh. I wonder I could even do it. It's more complicated than I thought. So, gee, if you think you could do this, it looks like I had to drill that. I had to put.
Probably use that tool that you couldn't find.
So forget it. It's a wonder I kept doing it because I don't even see how I did it.
I was putting it down so like there, so I could see it a little better. Maybe it's too.
But anyway, there was a little sign right here, hanging here. We tried finding it, and I can't find it. But the little sign stuck right here and it had a little decal on it. So that was the very first thing I ever made. And while I was looking for the sign, I just found this old plow bottom, and you can see this plow, the detail in my stuff. I tried to get a lot of detail, so just let me count real quick. Just in one plow bottom, there's one piece there welded to that piece. There's two pieces on each side, up and top and bottom here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 going down, that's 7. There's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, then the nuts and bolts, 16. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24. There are 24 pieces to make one little plow bottom. So that was some of the first things I ever made was the little plows. So the key was to make it out of metal so it didn't fall apart, and the key was to get some detail. So that was that. That was real early in my start too of making toys. Okay, so now we can move over here, and I got some more done on E.J. Potter's pulling tractor. If you look down here, I got the bell housing in there, and I got some linkages in there, and I got some wiring in there. I even got the wires hooked to the tachometer, if you can kind of see that. And if you spin it around, I've just been working a little bit on the rear. I have no idea what the back of the thing looked like, but just most of the pulling tractors had some little pads like wheelie bars that if it started to go up, that held it down. I got a steel sliver in my hand. Ouch.
Yikes, I hate
Ooh,
that.
I can see it. Ooh, I got it. Okay, sorry everybody. This is live. I get hurt right in the job. Keep rolling. Deb said, don't stop. He said, you want to be a professional, keep going. So anyway, there's the back. There's the side. I got the steering linkage down there and the little bit of the gearbox down there. So didn't get done today. I thought I was going to get it done. Not done, but just done as far as construction of it. So I'm getting close now. One of the double ugly tractors has some little tiny fenders that stick out about an inch, and I just am debating on putting them on because one of them had it, and I love the big round fenders, but his didn't have that look. But the fact that the one did have some little tiny fenders that were this wide, and then there's the metal taper down right here. I'm thinking I'm going to put that on there just to give it a little bit nicer look, because I want to kind of honor him, because everybody teased and made fun of his tractor, and I always felt bad for him when I seen him, and I just thought, that's me. I have no money, but I have a passion, and he did this. This was his life. He loved it, and so I want to make this kind of look nice. I still want the look that he has, but I want to make it look cute. Nicole made some decals for it. It's going to say double ugly on both sides here, and she made me some little name tags that I'm going to put either another decal down here saying double ugly or EJ Potter down on the bottom, because I want to make it look nice. So like I say, I always felt bad when I seen him, and he was doing what he loved, and he had no money to do it, and so I don't want to bring him down. I want to bring him up, because he really did achieve some pretty cool records in his life. So okay, we got that. And then we got, right here. I went and got the axle for the 4020 today. And we ended up, instead of getting inch, I got 3/4. I think 3/4 is going to be plenty. And so there's the nuts for the axle. And there's the first plate that I cut out yesterday, and so that will go through the middle of there. And that'll be good and solid. So what I'll do is I plan on officially starting on the 4020 on Wednesday. So tomorrow is D9 day. So tomorrow this gets the final assembly and get some tweaking done, and my information from Nicole should get here. She just sent it out today, so that should get here. So I should get everything put back together tomorrow. And I'll be able to touch up a little bit of I'll paint the seat black tomorrow, and I think the seat's black. I got to double check. And anything other little, like the headlights, if there's black in them, and the exhaust stack's got to be probably painted silver or just a rusty looking color. But everything else, I got to repaint all the little knobs here, the levers. Do that too, so. And just some little details like that. So that's where I'm at on that. And what else, Deb, did we? Oh yeah, we were excited today to see that we got our stimulus check. So Deb and I were like on cloud 9 all day, thinking, "Whoa, we're rich," And we didn't know if we were getting $2,000, if we were getting $1,200. So we got $1,200, right, Deb? $1,200. We each got $600, right? Okay. So that's kind of cool. Just even though it wasn't 2,000, and we're still always think positive and think, hey, they could only give it to certain people, and we're very thankful that we got it. So we're going to see the good side of that too. Okay, so I think, what else, Deb?
That's probably it.
What else?
Nothing.
Anything? You can think of anything else we're working on? Oh, we're going to look at the tires again, the front tires. We went to the farm store. No, we didn't go to we did go to the farm store. But I forgot what the measurements was on this. It was 8 inches.
That's what you said.
It's 8 inches diameter, so we, next time we go out, in fact, tomorrow, I'm not probably going to get a whole lot done other than putting this together and going and getting my steel. There's my last, let me get this done, bring it over. Here is my last piece of steel, right here. This is the last piece from the last time I went and I got 2 full sheets of 18 gauge sheet metal. So this'll get me going. If I don't end up going in the morning, if it's icy or slippery, they said we might get freezing rain tonight. So if I don't go in the morning, I'll start cutting this piece up here. And tomorrow I'm going to cut the second hub out. If I get, that's first priority tomorrow. But if I get caught up and I get anything else done, I'm going to cut the second one of these out, drill the center, cut the axle to the length, and I think I remember the duals. I got to look into this before I do anything, but I think the duals were clamp-on duals on the outside. Some of them had an axle that came way out, and I think the duals went on the axle, and some other ones just, I think we just had the snap-on duals on ours. So whatever the design that we're doing here, is how I'll make the axle. It'll either be longer for the dual to slide on, or it'll be shorter, and then I'll make some little clamp-on type duals. But there we go. So kind of, thanks again, everybody. I'm trying to answer everybody, and I appreciate everybody still watching. We're gonna give her another month. What else, Deb?
That's it.
You sure? Nothing else? How about one thing? Come up with one thing. Nothing?
Nothing. I have nothing.
You want to get in front of the camera?
No, definitely not.
Okay. All right, guys. So we'll see you tomorrow about supper time, and the dozer should be together, and we'll see what else I can get done. So thanks again. We'll see you later.